Hey everyone, welcome to the Convos with Anita Santiago podcast. I am your host, Anita Santiago. Please like, share, subscribe to the podcast on all the major platforms, including Apple, Spotify, and Amazon Music. Don't forget the website, lifeconvos.com. Pop on over there and see what's happening. And if you would like to reach out to me directly, for any ideas for the shows, comments, thoughts, you can email me at convoscws@gmail.com. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, here we are in November, 1 month in 2024 left. And my question to you is, how much have you accomplished this year? How many of your goals that you listed in January on your vision board have you actually accomplished this year? It's a good time to reflect. It's a good time to reflect on what you said you would do versus what you actually did. Now, I know that life often gets in the way. So January rolls around, new year, new me. We got 1,000 goals that we're going to accomplish. And then life happens. And sometimes we are not able to accomplish those goals. But this is why reflecting is so important. Patterns to see if there are patterns that keep you from being successful at achieving your goals. And the reason that's important is because sometimes if you're unsuccessful at accomplishing goals, that can spill over into other areas of your life. So what do I mean by that? There are some principles of accomplishing goals that are pretty standard. One of those principles is finishing what you start. It's hard to reach a goal if you don't finish the tasks that get you closer to the goal. So whether it's being more financially stable, improving your credit score, losing weight, moving to another city, whatever your goals are, if you don't accomplish the task that move you towards the goal, then it's easy to see why you may not reach those goals. So finishing what you start when it comes to goals is really, really important. Then consistency. We talk about this a lot at the gym, about just being consistent in doing the things that you know are important towards that goal all the time, every day. One of the things we talk about in the gym is, if you only work out on the days that you feel like it, you don't get very far. Or you only eat right on the days that you feel like it, you don't get very far. So consistency in what you do towards your goal is going to be the difference in whether or not you accomplish that goal. Consistency, finishing what you start, and never giving up. Never giving up on yourself, never quitting on you, showing up for you. I'm in some Facebook groups, and one of the biggest discussions I see all the time is, that thought about going back to school. I may want to go back to school. I don't know. I'm too old. This, that, or third. It doesn't really matter what your age is. What matters is, do you have the determination to do the things that it's going to take for you to accomplish that goal? So if you go back to school to learn a trade, are you willing to sacrifice the time, learn the trade, build the expertise so that you finish that program and move on into a career that you were thinking about? If you're going back to school for a degree, are you willing to sacrifice the time doing the assignments and all the things that have to be done so that you finish your program and you walk across that stage? So determination is really, really important. I didn't used to be a big goal person. Like, the new year would come around and people would have their lists and stuff. And I didn't really buy into it at first because I just felt like that, I felt like people were being over the top. Okay. So A couple of years ago, I finally decided to do a vision board. And what I did was I did my vision board electronically using Canva, which is a program that you can make flyers and artwork and designs and different things like that. And the first year I did it, I didn't really think it would matter. Okay, so did a vision board, and then we had to find 12 affirmations that went with the vision board and 5 songs that went with the vision board. And so what I did was I took the vision board I made on Canva and I made it my laptop background. And then the pictures, the individual pictures I used in my vision board, I made that my lock screen slideshow. So every time I'm on my laptop, and y'all know that's like all the time because I'm in school and I work. So every time I'm on my laptop, I'm looking at that vision board and it's reinforcing the goals that I said that I was set for 2024. And for 2023, because that was the first year I did it. I was so surprised at how I like crushed those goals. I was like, oh my gosh, is it the vision board or do I have a different perspective? So this year, I got a little fancier with my vision board, had a few more things on it, maybe 7 versus 4 the last time. And I'm telling you, the exposure to opening my laptop and looking at my background and reinforcing those things that I said that were important to me have really, really resulted in some big, huge goal accomplishments this year. So as I was thinking about this topic for this episode, I was like, wow, it's November and I've accomplished just about everything on my vision board. And one of my goals for 2024 was to improve my consistency. I can go hard in the paint, but I may go hard in the paint for 5 minutes and then drop off. It's not consistent. And so that's one of the things I wanted to work on is consistency. So if I said I'm writing for my dissertation, I'm consistent. Every other weekend, I'm writing, I'm at the library, I'm consistent with that. No excuses, and making it happen. And boy, oh boy, what a difference that makes. And so, what is my purpose for this episode? My purpose for this episode is to ask you, how did you do this year? And if you didn't do as well as you thought you wanted to, maybe take a different approach for the year coming up. Maybe there's a way for you to outline your goals and what it's going to take to get to your goals. Maybe you're not a vision board person. Maybe you're a list person. Maybe you're a journal person. Maybe you just walk around with it in your head. Whatever the case may be, if you're not accomplishing the goals that you want to, reflecting can help you figure out why you're not accomplishing those goals. And then you can take a tool like a vision board and implement that and say, okay, how do I do better next year? What is it that I want to do? We have a lot going on in this country right now. Economy, prices, cost of homes. There's so much going on that it can really get easy to get lost in the everyday overwhelming nature of what's going on. But you got to kind of bring that focus back down to your goals. There's been tough economies before. If you're over the age of 40, you've been through several tough economies, and that doesn't stop you from accomplishing goals, whatever they are for you and or your family. You just have to identify what they are. So 2024 is almost over. Did you make goals and then you just dropped off? What happened? How did you lose sight of them? One of the biggest things we see in the gym is in January, we have so many people come to the gym. I want to come to the gym. I want to work out. And they do. And then by February, most of those new people are not showing up anymore. I don't know why that happens, but I've been at my gym quite a while, and it's been pretty consistent every year. And I think that on the one hand, sometimes we have a goal and it seems really, really like a goal that we really want to accomplish, but we really don't know how much work it takes until we get into it. And you see that a lot around fitness goals and exercising. It sounds great to say, I want to be more fit. I want to be more healthy. I want to live a healthy lifestyle. But the tasks that are involved, depending on what your lifestyle is at the moment, it can take a lot to move you towards that goal. And it has to be consistent and it has to be constant, and you have to finish what you start. And if you're not used to doing things in those patterns, then by the time 2 or 3 or 4 weeks comes, it can seem overwhelming and a lot of energy that you're using to try to get to that goal. So if you haven't been a person that's goal oriented all your life, or you're not very organized, or you don't have a method that you use, because you don't necessarily have to be organized to accomplish a goal. But if you don't have a method that you use, that might be the reason why it's hard to accomplish goals. And for those of you that have children or families or people that you care for, you know, don't forget about you, making sure that every year, or however you do your goal setting, for me, it's every year, making sure that you don't forget about yourself and all the responsibilities that you have. And I know if you're a parent and you have young children or special needs children, it can be very easy to forget about yourself, but you still need goals. You still need dreams and things to work towards. So make sure that in this whole process of reflection and, thinking about what you might do in the next year, that you don't put yourself on the back burner. That's really, really important. And did you know that by taking these steps to identify your goals, work towards your goals, have a method to your madness, you can show people around you like how you can really move forward in life. Goals are not always fitness and losing weight. Goals can be financial. Young people, y'all on fire. I hear so many young people saying, I'm going to make my first million by 30, 35, and they are on a mission. That's a goal, you know? And as long as that person is doing those things that's going to get them there, they're going to make it. And I think we need to probably up our game on goals. If we're not satisfied where we are in life, up those goals. Y'all know one of my favorite quotes from Muhammad Ali says, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. I'm really buying into that. Like, why not? Why do we limit? Why do we limit what we can accomplish? Because people say, oh, well, you should be happy with what you have or where you're at in life. Who said so? Who said so? You have the ability to do extraordinary things and have extraordinary experiences, whatever that looks like for you. It doesn't have to be what other people think it should be. It has to be what you want it to be. But why not? Why is there a limit? Why do we place a limit? Well, it may take money and it may take resources. Well, if it's your dream or your goal, you have to complete the task to get there. You have to do the things to get you there. And you can absolutely do it. So again, I come back to the question, like, what is the limit? Why is there a limit if you have one? And I say that to be encouraging because I often in my mental health work come across people who've settled in life. They've settled for circumstances or situations because they just ran out of steam. They just ran out of energy. And it's like, I hear this phrase a lot at this point in my life, at this point in my life. And I say, okay, so you're at this point in your life. Why can't you do those things that you would like to do? And we can come up with a ton of obstacles or a ton of reasons why we can't reach a goal. But in the words of my best friend, are you focused on the problem or focused on the solution? I think, yeah, I'm a really hopeful person, and we need more hope in the world, and we need, to encourage people to go all out, to do things and have experiences that are meaningful, and not to settle in life. So you're here in November. You've got about another month. Let's see if you can accomplish one of those goals that you said in January you're going to start doing. Got about 6 to 9 weeks, no, 6 to 7 weeks left in the year. Let's see if you can accomplish one of those goals. Pick one of those goals, and on New Year's Day that you say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Let's see if you can get it done. Let's see if you can push through before the end of the year, and then reward yourself when you meet the goal. Give yourself a reward. And I'm not just talking about a pat on your back. Treat yourself to something nice. And then be encouraged going into 2025 that you're going to now really get serious about finishing what you start, accomplishing your goals, and moving yourself forward. It doesn't matter how you do it. I mean, it just matters that that method works for you. What works for me is a vision board. I never thought it would work for me, but it's working. It may be different for you, but find something. YouTube University, so many ideas on YouTube. Find a way to create a way to track your goals, to list them out, track them, and check them off when you accomplish them. And then when you get to November of next year and you say, wow, when I was listening to the Convos with Anita Santiago podcast, and she was encouraging us to do this, this, this. And now 2025, that's my year. I really did some stuff. I really accomplished some stuff. Wow. Because I mean, that's a great feeling when you accomplish a goal. It really is. If your goal is to pull your grades up in school, and I'm talking to the young people, you got to finish what you start. You got to be consistent. You got to move forward and accomplish that goal. So if that was one of your goals, you got plenty of time before the end of the year, December, to pull those grades up for those people who had that as a goal in January, or finishing school, or going back to school, or getting your credit score up, or whatever your goal is, or the goals that you had. Check your list. You got about 7 weeks. See what you can accomplish. Challenge yourself. And I promise you, once you start achieving the goals that you set out to achieve, things are going to feel really different, and you're going to see that you're more capable of getting things done than you thought maybe you were. That the obstacles are not showstoppers. They're just something to work around as you move towards the goal. Again, are you focused on the problem, or are you focused on the solution? So I want to hear about your goals. I want to hear about what you accomplished, what you plan to accomplish, what you might try different next year, and share that concept with someone else. If you have young people around you, you should encourage them to set goals, big goals. And then say, okay, you set the goal now. How are you going to accomplish it? Brainstorm with them. Show them what it looks like to be consistent and to work towards things. In this life of instant gratification, instant this, instant that, the principle behind sticking with something and working through to the end, I don't know if people are feeling that. as much. I mean, that's a big thing in Gen X. We, you know, just go at it until we get there. But I feel like that principle or that concept is not as prevalent as it once was. And we may need to reintroduce that concept that, hey, if you as a young person set goals now, retirement goals, financial goals, then by the time you get 30 or 40, life may not be as much of a struggle. We're ending 2024, and it's time to have a conversation about what we did, what we accomplished, and what we want to do differently next year. So my challenge to you is to take one of your goals and see if you can accomplish it before the end of the year. You can email me at convoscws@gmail.com if you want to share what you did and how it turned out. I'd be very, very interested to read, learn about how you move through some things, and reach out and, share with others and encourage others in their goals. And when 2025 rolls around and you say, this is my year, you really mean business. You be standing on business, like they say, because now, I got some goals accomplished, and I'm ready to do this thing next year, and I'm ready to make some stuff happen. So that's your challenge. I can't wait to hear about it. Thanks so much for stopping by the Convos with Anita Santiago podcast. I am always honored that all the fans, listeners, and supporters keep coming back to support the episodes. Thank you so much. Please like, review, and share on all the major platforms, and subscribe. Share episodes. Leave me a review. That really helps a lot. And I will see you next time. Happy listening.